Eagles 33, Jets 18. There's nothing better than getting to the Eagles on the rundown 3/4 of the way through the show. So I can say, Deebo, what did you think about this while I go to the bathroom?
Believe in me, I'm fired up about this one.
He's going number 2.
Great win, 12-0 all-time versus the Jets. But I just want to say here and now, there is zero quarterback controversy. Thank you, Gardner Minshew.
I was waiting for it.
Thank you, Gardner Minshew, for beating the Jets. Your work here is hopefully done. We can trade him for a third-round pick now. But what's bothering me, there's this obsession in Philadelphia and maybe some other places around the backup quarterback, really ever since I started rooting for them. And I think it needs to stop. I think it's damaging and it's dumb. I'm getting tired of it. Yes, they won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. He was a backup. It's not always going to be like that. It was incredibly rare and still kind of stunning. It's something I never trade for in the world, but it amplified this issue of just loving these backups, whether it's Coy Detmer, AJ Feely, Jeff Garcia, Mike Vick, that one worked out. Jalen Hurts last year. Just stop obsessing over these backup quarterbacks.
So Deebo, Gardner Minshew was 14 of 15 for 188 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Finished 20 of 25, 242, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Threw the ball out on time. Got the offense going. It looked like a different offense. At no point did you say, I wonder how this would look going forward.
I did not say that because, with all due respect, that is easily the worst defense in the league. If Jalen Hurts had the opportunity to play the Jets 13 times this year, I'd say the record's probably 12-1, 11-2 if Jalen Hurts gets to go up against the Jets. And I just think there's this perception with Minshew that he's some kind of gunslinger and he takes these wild chances. And I think that's the furthest thing from the case, not just today, but going back to his time with the Jags. He plays incredibly safe, and that's all they needed against the worst defense in the league. He was smart. He made some decent throws. He underthrew a lot. The offense was in a good position, like the way Nick Sirianni called the game. But it's never at any point in the game was I like, Jalen Hurts couldn't be doing similar things against this Jets defense.
Why are you making a face, Breech?
Just hearing Deebo trying to crush down and pour cold water on Minshew Mania just breaks my heart. Deebo, you have to embrace Minshew Mania. This is where you say, you know what? Our quarterback, Hurts, can now sit out the bye, and if he needs to sit out another week to let that ankle get to 100%, you have a quarterback in place. You should have your fingers crossed that Gardner Minshew wants to play another game for your team, even though you're trying to kick him out the house after one win.
Deebo, don't let this fool troll you. This is nothing more than someone who.
No, you missed the whole thing. Deebo,
I don't need it all
name ever again.
You irrationally suggested that every team in the NFL should trade a third-round pick for Gardner Minshew,
and now I feel even more vindicated.
Why?
Because he just won a game 33-18, and he went 20-25 for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. General manager Breech looks brilliant right now.
Jets haven't beaten anyone.
They
since
beat
week
the
8.
Titans.
Since week 8. Yeah, let's not forget week 8, Brinson. Let's not forget. I think that was the Bengals week. But you're right. I mean,
Jets haven't beaten anyone except the Bengals
and the Titans.
If Gardner Minshew is in the position where he has to start again, I'm fine with it. But for anyone to suggest, and there's some dumb people in the Philadelphia media that cover this team and talk about this team that are going to try to convince you that there's a controversy. That's for clicks. It's good for business. Don't pay attention to it. We need to get over this obsession with backup quarterbacks. Just because he looks like he could be in Always Sunny and he has sweet celebrations with his dad, or he looks like he could work the grill at like a cheesesteak shop, we don't have to obsess over Gardner Minshew. This guy is not the answer. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is, but there is no quarterback controversy. Stop it.
I hope the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, but with Minshew.
Oh, he missed!
Deebo needs to cut that.
Deebo's point did miss. Well, you're right, Brinson.
Deebo needs to cut that and put that on YouTube.
Did you pre-script that?
Yeah, he wrote that.
I'm fired up.
Right,
fired up.
I wrote it down. we can get a hold of Deebo in Slack earlier. He's like deep dive editing this rant on Minshew.
Yeah, he's doing a book report. He wore his bow tie and everything. He's fired.
I was looking up Coy Detmer stats earlier to back up my whole thing with backup quarterbacks.
Coy or Ty?
Coy was the around more in Philly. Yeah.
Coy was the backup. Ty, but Ty they traded to Miami, right?
Ty was around for a little bit, but Coy was the one in the early 2000s that was coming in for Donovan. And,
you need to look up what Andy Reid got for Ty Detmer.
You know what's crazy is that I think 3 weeks ago, the Eagles were 4-6, and Deebo felt strongly that they were going to make the playoffs because of how easy their remaining schedule was. And here we are 3 weeks later, and guess who is in the running heading into their bye? Plus, 2 teams ahead of them, Philadelphia or Dallas and Washington, play each other next week, so one of them has to lose.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it, but it's going to come. Washington is playing well, and we'll talk about their game next. But that's a tough team. There's 2 matchups. I feel like it might be a split with Washington, and then we see from there. But it appears to be a 3-team race between Washington, Philly, and San Fran for 2 spots, and that's somewhere where we had the Vikings previously, and might be able to knock them out. But I'm feeling good.
Were you tweeting irrationally about 3 NFC East teams making the playoffs earlier? Was that you? I couldn't remember.
I did send out a tweet. There's a chance. They're really. I mean, San Fran falls a little bit. It's just the fact that Washington and Philly have so many division games left. It would take Washington probably beating Dallas once or twice, and then the Eagles taking care of Washington.
Washington has to beat Dallas in order to facilitate a non-Dallas team making the playoff or winning the division. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Like if Dallas sweeps Washington, it's over.
Right.
But the odds, the odds are interesting. By the way, hit the like button. We're inching towards giving away a freaking hat. Does anybody have a Brinson Sucks hat around? I don't. I gave mine away.
Yeah, Breech does.
Yeah. You want a Brinson Sucks hat? Oh, somebody wants to see Deebo. I'll tell you what. We get to 150. We'll give
Deebo is a hat. And so the last one we send is also Deebo. We send him to you.
Dallas is minus 750 to win the division. Washington plus 675. Eagles 16-1.
No, there's Deebo. Look at Deebo.
There's Deebo.
Like he's on a dating app because Brinson sucks hat on.
That should be your profile on a dating app. Really.
Yeah, that'll go well.
What if the girl's name was Brinson and she's like, that's insulting.
It's true.
I could see
people think my first name is Brinson, by the way.
That's what we call you.
No, I mean, like,
I think the biggest takeaway, if you're an Eagles fan, is that you should be happy that you have a competent backup quarterback. Because a lot of teams don't.
I think Gardner Minshew could start for a handful of teams in this league for sure, just not this one.
The Bengals.
The other takeaway too is like, what was Urban Meyer doing? I mean,
which time?
If Gardner Minshew was as good as he told us, and he was involved in a quarterback competition with Trevor Lawrence, which is fine. Like if that's true, then that's fine.
It's not.
But then you trade him away for a 6th-round pick. Like, why not hold on to him? It's an asset.
Or he's not an asset. Or don't take snaps away from Trevor Lawrence during the preseason. That's the bigger story.
That would be my move too. But like, I mean, Gardner Minshew's an asset.
Or the Eagles got a steal, and now they got to win because of it. And they have Miles Sanders back, who looked completely competent. And this team feels like a threat down the stretch. And Deebo's team might be the last one standing.
You say completely confident? Miles Sanders is awesome.
What just happened there?
I don't know. Breech is doing some sort of weird.
Eagles bought 3,000.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni did say there's no debate. When Jalen's healthy, he's the starter. So
we're not having this debate. It's for what do you say, cheesesteak flippers or something? Like, yeah, we're not doing that.
It's going to be I'm glad I don't listen to local chatter.
Yeah, but how healthy is healthy? Like, does that have to be 100% healthy? Do you want Gardner Minshew or do you want 90% healthy Jalen Hurts?
Did Miles Sanders get hurt in that game?
At the end, but he seemed okay towards the end of it.
He was running well. So the Eagles it's really weird. Like next week is week 14. It's the Eagles. Maybe you guys already covered this, but Eagles bye, which is crazy. Like that's an insanely late bye.
Played extra game this season.
No, I mean, week 14 is really late.
Yeah. Next week is the last week of bye weeks, and they're obviously the last group of them.
As Deebo said, the New York Jets have never beaten the Philadelphia Eagles. It is the most wins by one team against another team in NFL history without losing.
That's a fun fact. All right.